Okay, I mentioned on the Thursday class from this week's Parsha, talks about how to conduct a Jewish war, and it talks about how the Kohen would go out and say, if you're afraid of doing battle, don't worry, Hashem is with you. So the Or Chaim over there says that it's not only talking about a physical war, but talking about a spiritual war. That's relevant to mention here because we're talking about bitachon here, not only in regards to physical matters, but right now what we're going to be learning and what we discussed is bitachon in regards to spiritual matters. So the Or Chaim says over there, the Or Chaim mentions over there that when we do battle with the Yetzer Hara, he says you shouldn't be afraid. It means not only when you go to physical battle, but when you do battle with the Yetzer Hara, don't be afraid because Hashem is with you. So the Yetzer Hara is very powerful. One is that he's stronger than us. The other is that we have a disadvantage when we battle the Yetzer Hara because our bodies, by nature, want what the Yetzer Hara is offering us. Our bodies want to steal. Right? We want to be lazy. We want to just do whatever we feel like. That's how Hashem made us. We have a neshama and a body. As Rabbi Shol Salanter mentions, is that there's two parts of the Yetzer Hara. There's the body, just the fact that we're physical, so the physical being wants physical things. But there's also this spiritual component that's trying to push us to do bad things. So you have these two parts of the Yetzer Hara. So he says that really we shouldn't be able to beat the Yetzer Hara at all. It's impossible. But the Or Chaim says the only way we have, this is really Gemara, the only way we have to beat the Yetzer Hara is that Hashem is going to help us. So we have to have bitachon that if we're deciding to do the right things, I have this challenge right now, the Yetzer Hara is very strong, I don't know if I can overcome it. Maybe you're right, by yourself you can't overcome it, but a person, just like he has bitachon that he's going to have parnasa to feed his family, so too he should have bitachon that Hashem is going to help him in battling the Yetzer Hara. And Rav Melech Biederman quoted this Or Chaim this week, and he had a story, which I mentioned on Thursday if you were there. He said that there was a fellow driving, he lived in Ashdod in Israel, and he was visiting his parents in Bnei Brak. On his way back from Bnei Brak, he realized that he can't find his phone in his car. He remembers he was using it at his parents' house. It must be that he left the phone at his parents' house. So he drives back to Bnei Brak, and he realizes as soon as he gets to his parents, he says, my phone was in my pocket the whole time. I've done this. I don't know if you've done this. The glasses on there, looking for glasses. I've done that as I actually get a little older. I do it more and more often. So he's driving back. He sees there's a frum boy waiting at the bus stop by himself. So he says, where are you going? Do you need a ride? He says, I'm going to Ashdod. So I'm going to Ashdod. I'll hop in. I'll take you. So he says, the guy driving says, I wouldn't have been here. It was only because I forgot my phone and that's why I saw you. He said, well, it must be hashkacha because he said, I'm in yeshiva and I've been having a little bit of a smartphone addiction. And I got rid of my smartphone and I get counseled by a fellow in Bnei Brak, and I go once a week, and because he was really addicted, looking at inappropriate things and just being totally, he couldn't focus on his learning. He was just like hooked on it. And he says I traveled to Bnei Brak once a week to meet with this person, and the last bus was coming to take me, take back to Ashdod, and I saw on the bus it was my friends, and they all had their smartphones, and I knew if I got on the bus with them, I was gonna, just go right back into my addiction, and I wasn't going to see, it was the last bus, but I said, I'm going to have, Hashem wants me to do the right thing, I'm going to have faith in Hashem, and I'm going to wait by the bus stop, and maybe I'll get home, and you pulled up. Right, Hashem put in this guy's head that he forgot his phone. He didn't really forget his phone, because this boy decided that, I don't know how I'm going to beat the Yetzer Hara, but I'm going to try, and Hashem helps you. So that's what we're discussing. We're talking about bitachon when it comes to spiritual matters. So let's just do what we took a tangent a little bit over here in Shaar Habitachon, just to discuss the reasons why Olam Haba isn't mentioned in the Torah. But this whole section of chapter 4 is discussing the different aspects of a person's life where he has to have bitachon. And we talked about having bitachon, that Hashem is going to reward us for the mitzvahs that we do. And now we're talking about bitachon in the sense of Olam Haba, the next world. So it's a short section. This is I think the 6th area. Habitachon is page 216. Habitachon ala Elokim b'meshiyaybo atzadikim yigmul olam hazev olam haba. That a person should have trust in Hashem that he's going to get rewarded for what he does in this world and the next world. Al avoda sheishalmeyu l'misharoylo. That Hashem is going to repay those that deserve it. V'chein yishalim ha'onesh l'misharoylo. He's also going to punish those that deserve it. U'min dedin ala maimin, and someone who believes should be ubitchono ala Elokim bazev ma'ashlamas ha'emunah b'Elokim. This is part of his belief in God. Part of believing in God is that there's reward and punishment in this world and the next. It's actually one of the 13 principles of faith. A Jew has to believe that Hashem rewards and punishes. If a person doesn't believe, I believe in God, but I don't believe that He rewards and punishes anyone, such a person is a kafir. If he touches wine, you can't drink it. You shouldn't give him an aliyah. Shouldn't count him in a minion. So, but not only that, we have to have bitachon that we're going to get repaid. Like it says, "V'hemin b'Hashem v'yachsheveh lo tzedakah." Believe in Hashem and consider it as tzedakah. V'amar, it says, "Luli amanti l'ros b'tuv Hashem be'eretz chaim." We just mentioned that if it's not that I had faith that I would see the goodness of Hashem in the land of life, and the land of life means olam haba. That olam haba, the next world, is something we have bitachon in. Ve'ein roi liftoach al maseo tov. However, there's a kanech here. We shouldn't have bitachon in Hashem because of our good deeds. Don't think, listen, I'm like one of the only people in Manalapan that goes to Minyan in the morning. I'm going to get olam haba. I deserve it. Don't think, I deserve it. I did so many good deeds. I'm going to get rewarded in olam haba and olam haza. Rather, a person should focus on all the good that Hashem does for a person constantly. Read a biology book. Highly recommend it. If you never in your life read a biology book or an anatomy book, you realize that every time you swallow thousands of times a day, the trachea is closed so that you don't choke, and that the heart keeps beating continuously since you were a little baby, and that you take a breath and the lungs know exactly how to extract the oxygen and spread it through all the organs in the body, and millions of things going on in the body every second. Even that's just in the physical body. Just for that, we have to have constant thanks for Hashem. And then the fact that we're healthy and that our brains work and that we're, out of all times in history, we live in Manalapan, New Jersey. We're not living in the Middle Ages in Visigoth, Spain or something. What? In Colombia, right? You don't have to make deals with, what's his name? El Chapo or, what was the other guy before that? Maduro? No, the guy your father was friends with. Escobar. Pablo Escobar. You don't have to make deals with him. Right, you live a normal life. So many things we have to thank Hashem. Rabbi Sinna Zichrono Livracha. Al tiyu hakavod misham shenesarab al manas l'kabel pras. Alav hakavod misham shenesarab shalom al manas l'kabel pras. V'yimor shemayim aleichem. You should be like a servant serving Hashem, not in order to receive reward. You should not in order to receive reward, but you should serve Hashem not for the reward. Meaning, we don't owe Hashem anything. One of the things that we have to thank Hashem for, in addition to everything I just mentioned, is that He's going, in addition to doing all the goodness that He does for us, He's going to reward us in olam haba for all the good deeds that we did. One of the righteous people said, "Lo yiga hadam al gmul olam haba maseh." A person doesn't get olam haba because of his deeds. If you would take a scale, and on one hand you put all the mitzvahs that you ever did, and on the other hand, on the other side of the scale, you put everything that Hashem ever did for us, it doesn't weigh, really. So if you want to say that we deserve olam haba because of our mitzvahs, it's not true, we don't. The fact that we get olam haba, we get reward for our mitzvahs, is also a kindness from Hashem. That's the way we have to look at it. And it's a bitachon. That's part of the bitachon, the trusting in Hashem's kindness, is that His kindness is going to get an olam haba. We have, I think, I notice myself, especially if you live in Lakewood, you're doing what everyone else does. Like, okay, live in Manalapan. I feel like a choshev guy. How many other Jews in Manalapan are going to Minyan or learning Torah? I'm an important guy. But really, you look at the scales, it doesn't pan out. So olam haba is something that we have to have bitachon in also. It's a kindness of Hashem that we get rewarded for our mitzvahs. Don't trust in your deeds. Also says by davening. It's a trap in davening. You think, I did so many mitzvahs this week, so Hashem has to answer me. That's not how we're supposed to daven. We're supposed to daven like it's just like a poor person who's begging for food. Hashem, you don't owe me a single thing. I'm asking, if you don't give me my food, I'm not going to have. That's how we're supposed to daven. King David said, Hashem chased ki ata teshalem leish. When yours, Hashem, is kindness, when you repay each man according to his deeds. Okay, so that was the sixth area. The sixth area where we have Bitachon Hashem. And next week, Mirz Hashem, we will conclude this chapter, which has been long, the longest chapter in Shaar Habitachon.